Welcome everyone to another entry in the Guide to the Star Wars universe. Today we will be discussing lightsaber colors and the crystals that determine their color, and also what determines the color of the crystal. Let's begin. The Kyber crystal is the heart of the lightsaber and is harvested on planets such as Ilum, Jedha, Lothal, and many others. When a Force user collects their crystal, it is initially clear, completely uncolored. The Force user's personality, perspective of the Force, and their will determines what color the crystal shall be. And today, we discuss the known meanings behind each color as well as some of my own theories regarding the colors we do not fully understand. I will be covering each color from most to least common. And so we begin with blue, the color of the Jedi Guardian, a light side Force user who is physically proactive. An individual who goes out into the galaxy to seek out dark side threats and destroy them. A Guardian typically will have a bias towards being a skilled duelist over being an adept Force wielder. Notable Guardians include Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi. If you see yourself as proactive, more inclined to seek out threats and match them face to face, then your crystal may turn blue upon collection. Now, before I continue, I should say that despite what one's saber color initially is, an individual is more than capable of breaking the mold. There is no reason a Guardian can't become a master Force user. I am simply stating typical trends. Moving on to the next color. We have green, the color of the Jedi Consular, a light side Force user that leans more towards using the Force to overcome obstacles and accomplish their goals. Consulars typically are the ones who meditate to try and detect the dark side, and seek guidance from the Force before facing any problem or threat. Compared to a Guardian, a Consular is more likely to be able to creatively use the Force in the midst of combat. But this does not mean a Consular cannot also rise to excel as a duelist. Consulars, and Guardians too, are especially well known for improving their physical abilities through Force augmentation. Notable Consulars include Qui-Gon Jinn, Yoda, and Luke Skywalker. The following color is common in the Jedi Order, but only due to those who carry it: the yellow lightsaber. With some very rare exceptions, the only known Jedi, or Force users for that matter, that wield yellow lightsabers are the Jedi Temple Guards. And it is said that the lightsabers and the yellow crystals within them are inherited when new Jedi take on the duty of being a guard, which shrouds the meaning of the crystal in mystery. But I do have a theory. Let us analyze the potential personalities of the Jedi who crafted the yellow crystals seen in the Temple Guard sabers, and the personality of the newest known user of a yellow-bladed saber, Rey. The Temple Guards serve a purpose. They live, breathe, fight, and die for it if need be. It is a very singular way to live, to seek a purpose and serve it with all the effort you can give. I believe the first Temple Guards knew their place and the role they were meant to play because they were right for their job. Rey is very similar. She wanted nothing more than to understand herself and her place in the galaxy, and how she was destined to contribute to it. And when she realized what she was born to do, when she found her purpose, she was willing to pay the ultimate price to see it done. That is my theory regarding the yellow lightsaber crystal. They are rarely seen being made in recent galactic history because the color requires Force users with a very rare perspective of themselves and the Force. The next color we have is red. There has never been any naturally occurring red kyber crystals in recorded history. The only known way to acquire a red crystal is to have a Force user who has embraced the dark side corrupt the crystal. The process is known as bleeding, and to bleed a crystal is against everything a Jedi stands for. For the kyber crystal is recognized to be a living entity of sorts, and they are capable of feeling pain and suffering. The process of bleeding a crystal requires an intense exertion of willpower, involving the pouring of one's fear, anger, hatred, and suffering into the crystal. Which means no red crystal has ever been made by accident. There have been many noteworthy users of the red saber: Revan, Plagueis, Sidious, Maul, Tyrannus, Ventress, Savage Opress, Vader, and Kylo Ren, and countless other Sith and Dark Jedi. Red therefore can simply be designated as the color of the dark side. I also recently learned that crystals of obsidian heavily imbued with the power of the dark side can produce a red lightsaber blade. Whether anyone has done this, I don't actually know. But one place you might acquire this dark obsidian is on Mustafar, somewhere within or likely underneath Darth Vader's castle. It is also believed Snoke wore a ring with a piece of this obsidian, likely from Mustafar, set into it. Up next is the color that only has been known to occur when a red crystal has been purged of all dark side corruption and has been healed by a light side or gray Force user. There is no recorded occurrence of a clear kyber crystal turning white upon first collection. Therefore, there is no specific personality associated with the color of white. Ahsoka Tano is currently the only known Force user of such crystals, as she had acquired them from an Inquisitor and healed them, thus turning them white. Up next is an incredibly rare color, purple. Only one lightsaber has ever been recorded in galactic history to have it, so far. There is no official meaning behind the color, but we can theorize. Since purple is a combination of blue and red, the personality that can produce the color purple is likely a blend of that of the Guardian and a Darksider. This means the user who gets this color would likely have to be physically proactive, aggressive, often seek out and destroy threats with a sort of attack and ask later attitude. One who has a purple saber will have a potent mixture of the dark side within them, but has managed to not allow it to corrupt them, which is likely why it is so rare, because most Jedi who encounter the dark side either reject it completely or succumb to it completely. And Sith rarely resist it. This middle ground, this internal balance, makes the user and the weapon very rare. A pragmatist in the Force. You could say in some ways I've described Mace Windu, and you could also say I haven't. Regardless, he was a Jedi who fought for the light but took advantage of the power of the dark side without letting it take advantage of him. To have a balanced mind, personality, and perspective of the Force will likely earn you a purple kyber crystal. And finally, we have the black lightsaber. But we will not be delving into this mysterious color in this entry. I will save that for another time, so that I can fully present my theory as to how a Mandalorian Jedi created the rarest and most mysterious lightsaber in galactic history. Thank you for listening to today's entry in the Guide to the Multiverse. I hope you find the crystal you have been looking for. Good luck with your sabers and your research, and may the Force be with you.